Who's Josh Melton?
Man, who's Josh Melton? My whole life changed when my thought process changed about life, you know? It is what you make it, no matter what day, no matter what you're going through.
Where's Josh Melton?
Oh gosh, Josh Melton is probably the most positive person I know.
Turned to my buddy Cody, I said, I don't think I can hang here, man. Like, if this is how good the talent is, when I first moved to this town, that's where my bar was set, and that was Ashland McBride. Man, the reason why I did that storage unit is I always have to do stuff on my own. I can't like have people around. I have to learn it on my own. I gotta experience it on my own. So for me, like mentally, like I thought that if I was comfortable enough performing to myself in a mirror without any distractions, I can get that side of things down on my own easier. So I had to be disconnected from my life. I had to be out of my apartment. I couldn't have anybody around to mess up. I had to be able to mess up. You know, like it took me 4 days to learn Copperhead Road. And I was in that place for 4 freaking days trying to learn this song real late the night before. And I had my first gig on Broadway the next day. My first own gig. And I didn't want to be late for it. It was very important because that's how I was making my living. And my transmission started slipping on the on-ramp. And lo and behold, it went out completely. So I pulled over to the side of the road, about 100 yards back there. And I had no money to my name, man. I didn't have money to call a tow truck or nothing. And I didn't have any friends to come pick me up. So sometimes your car works in reverse. So mine did work in reverse. I reversed 2 miles home on the side of the highway, knocked on my neighbor's door that I didn't even know and said, hey, would you bring me downtown? Here's 20 bucks. And he's like, yeah, man, hop in. And I was 10 minutes late to my first gig downtown. And I ended up selling that car for 400 bucks with a blown tranny. Crazy stuff, man. And that car was actually given to me by a lady that passed away at the nursing home. Her family, I made such an impact on her and her family, they gave me that car, which is crazy. Because that's how I started touring, was that car. That's nuts. I cannot believe that kind of stuff, man. That's real stuff. That makes me emotional sometimes. I cannot believe that. Oh my God.
Music City. What were your thoughts? Where was you're at ground zero in a new town?
When I first got here, when I first moved to Nashville, in my mind, and I told everybody around me, give me 3-6 months tops, I'll be in. And that didn't happen. And so when that didn't happen, my mind just didn't understand what's going on, because everybody back home told me I was great, but everybody here was way better.
What was that like? What were the nights like performing? Just 2 successful band sets.
I mean, and then the Broadway scene can get really depressing sometimes, because there was multiple days where you were playing for tables and chairs, man. And that doesn't feed a musician's soul very well, you know. It wasn't about the tips, it was just about, for me, it was about the reaction and getting the crowd to react to you. And when you're playing for tables and chairs, like, it's just depressing. But hundreds of times I played for tables and chairs down there. And looking back on it, I hate it and I love it because it was like going to college. It opened doors for me to be able to talk to people on a microphone and be able to relate to people, and gave me a chance to practice my music and make a couple bucks. But I commend those guys down there for going down there day in and day out. And there's some of the best musicians in the world playing on that street right now, which is crazy.
I'll make it quick. Gentlemen.
Luke's. But my first gig was at Bailey's right there. They call it Lucky's now. It's a good shirt for you. I picked up a Tuesday gig at Luke's because we found out me and Olivia were having a baby, and I hated playing down here 5 days a week, but I had to do something to make money. So I was playing on a random Tuesday. Some industry people walked in and I noticed their faces from just being around town for 6 years. I started playing some original music. I took a break and one of them asked me who my manager was. And I was like, yeah, Chris Perkins. And she's like, man, I love Chris Perkins. And so that got me in my deal with Ebach Entertainment and Universal. Moral of the story, keep grinding, baby.
You know, this initial mindset you had of rolling down there, and that happened with you in a way.
Yeah, well, like the whole concept of getting discovered on a stage in Nashville, it does not happen. It does not happen anymore. Back in the day, in the 90s, that's where they did it. Let's go check these guys out, who we signing today. Like, they put record deals on the table. But now it's not like that. And the industry almost looks at Broadway as like a black hole. They don't go down there. The industry doesn't go check people out. I've never seen it. But I picked up a gig on a Tuesday because I had a baby coming. And I got discovered on Broadway, man. Like, I seen some industry people come in. I was playing a gig on a Tuesday, which I didn't want to be down there. And I seen some industry people come in. And so I started singing original music. When I took a break, a lady named Janine came up to me and asked me who my manager was. And that all unfolded from there on Broadway. And I guess you could say I got discovered on Broadway. And that led me to my Ebach Entertainment Universal publishing deal. And so, like, that just proves to you right there, you got to grind it out, man. Because, like, nothing's going to come to you, man, you know. I remember countless Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays playing down here 2 to 6. I mean, we used to have like 300 people upstairs. Me and Mark Burke, we would just sit there with our acoustic guitars and just play every song you can think of. I was doing it for a living, man. It's like sometimes I wouldn't enjoy it, but I had to do what I had to do. And like every gig leads to another gig. So here's where I kind of cut my teeth in Nashville, right here. FGL House. Let's do it. What up?
Hey, go ahead.
This is the first actual place I had a gig in Nashville at Bailey's. They call it Lucky's now, but this is the story about when I blew my transmission out. I reversed on the highway and got here 5 minutes late for my first gig. I paid my rent in this building for almost 4 years. So it seems like it's been so long, But thank God I've accomplished everything so quick. It seems so short at the same time. I've been in this town for 7 years, and I've played every single bar on this strip.
What was that like? With that pen to paper and sign, knowing that.
I think the day I signed my deal, it was a surreal moment to me because I've always lived that day, and I knew that day was coming. And so I've always lived like that's already happened. I'm already living like I have number ones on the radio because I know they're going to happen. So for me, it wasn't a surprise. I think 2 weeks later, it sunk in, and I had a little bit of fun on the town. You know, to be able to tell your parents that you're getting paid to write songs, like, that's a huge thing. And like, looking back on it, everybody thought I was crazy. And I mean, honestly, I even thought I was crazy sometimes. Like, I told myself the third year I was here, I'm going to give myself one more year, you know? And then the fourth year, my parents asking me what's going on. I'm like, I think I'm going to give myself one more year. I'm going to stop for a second. Is this crazy? Honest to God, it's crazy to talk about because I don't ever talk about this shit. It's nuts. Oh man. I look terrible when I cry. Anyhow, now it's fucking nuts to talk about because I can't believe I like stuck it out. Like I'm gonna put this. I can't believe I stuck it out, honest to God. Like, talking about it makes me realize how crazy it is. And I get emotional. I'm a little emotional guy, you know? I'm this big emotional guy. It's been a hard road, man, honest to God. There's so many, I mean, I respect every musician in this town because it's harder than what people think. Everybody thinks that we're just here to have a good time, and we do have a good time, but it's a mental game for us.